Make a motion to start moving.
I second it. All in favor?
Uh,
Meeting is commenced. Open meeting, open the meeting. And a guest, no guest? No guest?
Yeah,
Is there somebody coming? Anybody coming?
not right now.
Christine coming or anybody?
Saw her today, but I know she had checks yesterday. I saw Jessica and she said she was getting the checks ready. So she may show up.
She'll show up. That's essentially all.
Approve the minutes of, May eighth.
That's essentially all.
Make a motion that we.
Well-
accept the minutes.
I second it. All in favor?
Yeah.
Maintenance report. Do we have a maintenance report?
That's what I know of.
Anybody got anything to say about maintenance? The tree, what about the tree? Anybody know anything about coming up about the tree?
That tree, Marshall's still looking into it.
Marshall?
He's the tree warden.
I thought,
Wheeler.
was. He's in the town report, it said Doug Wheeler.
Did they fire him already?
Yes. It was Marshall that I met with. That's what they said.
So, was he looking at it?
He looked at it and he said that, he says that he's pretty sure it looks like it's on their line. So, we could take and cut what's on our side of the cemetery.
We can cut off what we want.
Yeah.
Just hanging over the cemetery without a problem. If needed.
He's still looking into it and then get back to me, so I'll get hold of him.
Was he gonna try and talk to the landowner?
He was gonna talk to him and see if he was willing to, if he was gonna cut it, or maybe a possibility of splitting it or something,
Yeah, cause I had talked to him, Marty,
Mhm.
and this was before we weren't sure whether it was whose property it was on, but we were pretty much convinced that it was his tree. And, then I saw, the tree guys that did our work, and he had told me he had given him an estimate a while ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago. And nothing ever became of it, so then we were pretty much sure that it was his tree. But I asked him if he was willing to go 50-50 if we decided to do that. He said he didn't, I don't think he liked that idea either, but he said he'd probably go for that. So that's where that is, I guess.
So it is on private property then, mostly?
Yeah, we're, not 100%.
We're not
sure,
100%
but
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty sure that it's on his, land. It's on private.
Okay,
it's not gonna be totally
Somebody's out there.
responsible.
Oh,
Doorbell.
sides are right there. They're getting it.
Are they?
But there's got more people coming in for them.
Anything else? Stone,
Filler finished, Riverview. Stones are all done up there.
yeah,
And I haven't talked to him yet, but he knows that I've marked off 10 over here and
yeah. That's where he's going next.
next. Just do 10.
Take care of the big stone first, maybe.
The stone that's fallen over.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then right in that area, I ended up with 10 more, 9 more.
Ooh, Christine,
Well, you guys,
good, hey, you.
sorry, it took me extra.
They want to sit in this?
You're here longer. You rest your weary bones.
okay.
Hey, that's getting back at you for the last time when you were here, you made a comment. Told me to go forth, and you said age before beauty.
Recorded.
That's okay.
So,
So now we have a guest.
We got
Thank you,
gas.
Christine. We're gonna have a money report?
I don't have a money report, I just have the bills that need to be signed on, that's all I'm here for.
So
I'm
are
sorry
we,
to take
are we
away.
broke as of now, we're really gonna be broke after that?
Well, you're using your money, that's for sure.
We get new money in, 2 weeks?
Yes, July 1st. July 1st starts the new fiscal year, so you'll have your, I think it's 60,000 you guys asked for.
Yeah. We
What we
get,
asked for?
That's all you asked for this time.
how about the memorial fund?
It's the same, we haven't really gotten much for donations since the, Memorial Day itself. We took in, I'm trying to remember what we took in that day.
3.
We got a couple more after that, so I think we were around 500 or 600 that we got for Memorial Day for the chart, which
Plus,
was nice.
plus the, Legion check?
Plus the Legion check, yes, they had actually given that to us a couple weeks before, so that was in the 135 that we mentioned at Memorial Day itself, so. We're working on an auction for July 2nd, so hopefully that'll go well.
Anything else? Old business?
I'm just wondering about what you guys are talking about, that mausoleum. Have you guys got the survey it yet?
No, we talked with, Merrill, he's drawing up a new map. So as soon as,
This guy paid for it, I mean, he wants to probably do something with it, right?
yeah, so as soon as, Merrill's working on the map right now. He's drawing it up, we showed him, we gave him what we told him what it looked like, he's been out there, and so as soon as he puts it on the map, then we're gonna go out there and do put pins in the ground.
He's gonna do that, or you gonna do that? He's gonna do that, right?
We are gonna do it with him.
With him.
We're gonna, when he finishes the map, he's got the map doing, he's got
Yeah.
all our diagrams and everything, so he's putting that on the map, and then we're gonna go out there. And he's gonna bring his little survey
Yeah,
scope, and we're gonna put the pins in the ground, and then we're all set to,
once the pin's in the ground, we can notify the person that
lot
bought the
owner,
lot,
yeah,
and they can
give him his deed.
continue on whatever they wanna do.
Right. And we did talk with, the zoning, Jessica in zoning basically said that, and I'll make sure it's in those documents of regulations that, no more, it can't be more than 10 feet high or more than 150 square feet. The mausoleum itself.
Why is that 10 feet high?
The zoning regulations.
Zoning regulations for the town.
They have zoning regulations for mausoleums?
It's
Well,
a structure.
It's a structure, and the town
Well,
requires.
I would consider it kind of a shed. You can have whatever kind of roof it wants.
You can't, if it's your shed's over 10 feet, you gotta have a zoning permit.
Oh, okay. So he can do whatever he wants without the permit, as long as he stays within the
Those
guidelines.
guidelines, right?
Okay,
And those will be like, whenever he draws up his plans, then he'll submit his plans to you guys,
yeah,
and you'll vote whether or not you approve his plans or don't approve his plans. And then if you don't, then he goes back to the drawing board and
yeah.
until you're satisfied with what it, looks like, basically.
How many lots did you have Merrill taking the map out?
There's 4.
Yeah.
Side by side,
Yeah,
space in
You
between.
want one, Ralph?
yeah, there's 16
No.
feet between them. Yeah,
He got the end lot, right?
I'm ready.
he's got the end one by the
Closest to
garden,
the ditch.
by the garden there.
Oh, closer to the garden?
All the way up towards the garden. Yeah, he's got. the
Oh, I
garden.
thought you had the other one down by
No,
the, that's why he wanted to clear the trees out.
I think he just wanted to clear the trees out.
Oh,
Which cemetery?
Riverview.
I thought, okay, that's what I thought I remembered.
has anybody talked to him recently,
No,
last time?
no.
So we consider that he's still willing to clear that lot?
Well, wait,
if need
once
be.
we get this deed and we kind of hear back from him, I don't see why not. I mean, if he wants to do it, we'll see what he wants to do. If he doesn't, I don't think we're in any hurry to clean that lot up right
No.
now, yeah, so.
No. He wants to have a view.
Gotta be. Riverview.
New business. Unless there's more old business. New business,
Sold one lot,
Two technically.
you get your check?
No, if Christine's gonna be out, but Jessica's gonna be looking for it. It's coming in the mail.
Competition.
No,
We're
no
up
competition.
in New Riverview.
Yes.
Yeah, one's a Raider, Dorothy and Harold Raider. They're on the road,
Greater Roof.
on the main road on the west. Is that west? Yeah, east. West section. You know where Spiller did that, where those stones were falling off a 2 years ago, and he built them up on the side of the road, so there's a lot there. And they're just, he wanted, I guess the son wanted a lot, or a grave next to his parents. We've had couple other people email, but they haven't responded back, so.
I had a phone call from, some lady, it wasn't very. They had a veteran die. Since last Memorial Day, his name is John Blumendahl,
Blumenthal.
Okay, and she wanted to know if the Legion would, do a military service one. And I said, we don't do that because generally the funeral home does that, right?
Usually we organize that, yeah,
Okay,
we,
and what she told me,
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
well, where's he going to be buried? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's, is he gonna be buried in Wilmington? Because he's from Dover, right?
yeah,
I said, is he gonna be buried in Dover or Wilmington? I don't know. I said, is he gonna be buried? I don't know. I said, well, you get back to me sometime. Let me know.
yeah,
I
they're
have no-
still planning.
They're planning, okay, you know what's going on there.
Well, no, I don't know much more.
You don't know anything.
No, I don't know any.
Nina caught me off guard, but
Okay.
we don't do it out, right? We don't do. The
No.
state comes down to do a service, then they have two guys hold the flag, and one guy just hold the trumpet up and play it.
Depends on what they want.
Yeah, I know.
Because Dana Dix's last year, they had a firing squad.
Had friends for it too.
Yeah. I think it was Reedsboro Legion. They had firing squad. Flag folding and somebody played taps. I think that was, came out of the Coast Guard down there in Rhode Island. There was some Coast Guard guys there. Because Dana Dix's. It was pouring rain that day. But,
Well,
Yeah.
last week.
no,
No, it was last,
it was last summer.
A year ago or so, right? Yeah.
Or was
it was
it
more, no, not
2
last
years
summer.
ago?
It was longer than that,
2 summers.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I told her to get in touch with the funeral homes. I said,
Oh,
I said,
yeah, so it's
you
your
know, I
fault,
says,
okay, good to know.
I says, they wanna buy a lot, see our sextons. Want to buy a lot, but I says, a military stone won't cost them anything. It's like, let's get that. Oh, okay. Don't know who she was. She said he's his partner, whatever that meant.
Was probably Irene, Collins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's who
you're
you
right.
spoke
There's
to.
Eileen Bean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Collins.
yeah, yeah,
East over?
yeah.
Yeah.
She used to work at the co-op.
They have the hot tub company in West.
She was with
Silver.
Holden there for a while.
Oh, long time,
But
yeah,
he-
yeah. Yep. On the ground.
Yeah, she, her sister did the same. I got one question. When I put flags up Memorial Day, I thought we had it determined that cemetery up by Lane Canes is the limb was cut. That big limb laying over all those rocks, bullshit, that was still there.
Really? Huh.
Oh, yeah.
I think, were we still trying to contact?
No, I thought the owner said that they took care of it.
Well, they didn't take care of it. I put the flag up and I looked at it and, oh, boy.
Well, did they cut, maybe they took, because there was a limb down behind the thing. I wonder if they just took the old dead limb that had
I
fallen
don't
on the
know.
ground.
The big limb that hangs over all those slate stones.
Oh, yeah.
Still there.
Still there.
It just, it's not a big deal, but I
Good.
heard it was taken care of.
Right.
Put the flags up. Were you with me when we did
No.
that? No, you weren't.
Not this year,
Oh, I went.
last year.
Okay. I'm just going, uh-oh.
I don't remember what I don't know who, I mean, was it Donna might have spoken
Can you
with
point
her?
it out? See that limb where
Yeah,
it's been sawed right there?
yeah, but that's, this one here. See, this is see this here? See this limb here? It's right over the
Yeah, it looks like they might have taken.
end off.
Yep,
They
just the
didn't
end.
cut, they didn't take the big part off.
Yeah.
It's laying right over there.
Yeah.
I could have cut that with my little.
Is this the cemetery we were talking about?
Chandler Cemetery.
Chandler,
Yeah,
by Lake Hages.
yeah.
That's the only one I see that, I just saw the tree and I'm going, I thought the limb was cut off, you know.
Cause maybe it was Donna that mentioned that maybe she spoke to them, but she said that
I
they took,
spoke to him.
oh, you spoke to them. But I thought you said maybe it was they.
He told me taken care of. Was it leafed out?
No, this springtime.
Oh.
I did it,
No, when you put the flags up, was it leafed out then?
no, Memorial Day.
Yeah, should.
Ain't nothing leaked up Memorial Day.
Leafed out a little bit.
Well, it was, couple of weeks before.
It was?
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks before Memorial Day.
What, is the branch dead or alive?
No, it's alive, I say. I didn't pay much attention to it, I just put the flag up.
So we're gonna cut the branch down?
I don't see why we have to, but it should be done, but I mean, this guy said he was gonna do it, and
Maybe we should.
I mean, I've been up there for years, and there's never anybody there.
Yeah.
The place is just a vacant place. Only time I went by there once, a lady was out back sunbathing, and I went, whoops.
Oh, my. Oh,
Yes, that was when Mrs. Haynes.
No.
But that's just, it probably won't fall down. Might nothing ever happen.
We're
But-
concerned about it?
But didn't you say something like they didn't want us really?
They didn't want us over there.
Yeah.
Well, I go over there, put a flag up. so I
That's
do
fine.
that.
You were on his camera. They didn't want us in there, is that what you said? Yeah, he'd rather
What's that?
take care of it himself, rather than having us back in there.
the one out on Raponda Road? Yeah.
You're right.
So in other words, they don't want us on the property?
That sounds good, yeah.
That's basically
what it
said, yeah. But we have a right to be there.
For the cemetery, we have a right.
Well, I'm here.
That's what I'm saying, maybe we should write him a letter, so we're concerned about that, and if it's not taken care of, we will take care of
Johnny, why don't you go over, you know where it is, we can take a look at it sometimes, to see what you think. Okay, because I just thought the limb was cut off.
it. Yeah, they just cut that.
I cut
Dry-
the
dry-
whole tree up.
Yeah. Technically, you're right, take the whole tree out. Did you think that maybe they were gonna be around a little more than,
No, a carpenter was working,
oh,
so I stopped. And he said, oh, you wanna talk to him? And I said, sure.
right there?
It's just like that, so next thing I know, they're on the phone, and I walked out back.
Oh.
While I was talking to
I
him.
thought he pointed to the camera,
Oh, yeah, I was on the camera too.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause I said, no, we'd like to go in and weed whack it a couple times a year. I'll take care of that. You didn't, did it look like it'd been mowed a little bit? No.
Well, I, springtime, I won't,
True.
I won't go back until next spring. It may be, right Al?
Maybe,
Back next spring.
maybe you should take your ATV out there.
Huh?
Take your ATV out when you, someone can't walk,
That's what I really wanna do.
someone can't walk.
I'll go with you.
I wonder why he's so opposed.
Uh,
I wonder why he's so opposed.
They probably the only property he owns that.
Well, you gotta realize, people don't give a damn about old cemeteries. The one in White's Cemetery up in Dover, I found it, it took us 3 years to find it, we found it, there was 7 stones in it, we were all proud about it. A logging operation must have went up there in the wintertime and went right over the whole damn thing, smashed every single stone in the cemetery. So people don't care. People do not.
Well, they don't care and they don't know, they don't care.
Help yourself, I don't understand.
Mentioned in your deed as well, but
It must be that there's a right of way.
out-of-state owners are not used
Right.
to people who have respect for other people's property, and they get very nervous.
Yeah.
They just do, and it doesn't mean it's right or anything, but they don't
Or
know,
maybe they're,
they don't know who we are.
oh,
We don't know who
They,
they are.
no, but they just.
sure,
don't
and you
know
have
what
one of
the
these
market is.
characters full up, oh,
That you could.
What'd you say?
yeah, I could understand.
What'd you say? I caught that.
Character.
But I mean,
Character.
I think, a letter
Sure.
maybe just saying,
Yeah, okay.
it's within our rights to do this, we'd love to work with you, we don't want to impose on you, but.
Most
you
people
know.
are good,
Yeah, most people are.
will love it.
But
you know.
so many people get like,
Yeah,
Or if he could just say,
thank you for taking care of
they
it.
just get nervous.
or
Right,
they
that's
could
what-
just
that's what it should be.
communicate their concerns to us, and we could,
And maybe that's what the letter has to say.
yeah. Yeah,
Well, thank you all very much.
Thank
You
you.
could get,
Thank you.
you could get
Thanks,
the address
Christine.
from the town hall,
yeah.
from the tax,
Oh,
or you can
yeah.
get it right off, but.
Oh, I have the-
For looking up their taxes.
What are you looking
Yeah.
for? What?
Their address,
No, I had pulled it up because I gave it to Donna and I probably got it somewhere else.
okay.
Cause I got their names and then I think I even found an email address to the wife. I don't know if that's how Donna reached out to him. I don't know, but she was gonna write a letter eventually, but I don't know if she ever did.
Let me get that.
That house has been vacant, I mean, nobody's there.
It's
And that's
usually
one that's
vacant.
been there for 20-some years.
Yeah, I think they.
The last one was Haynes
I
from
think they're in
Naylor.
New Jersey.
How long's he been gone?
I thought you wrote a letter and we sent it to them.
I
no?
thought Donna was going to.
Yeah.
I don't know if she did or not,
Hmm,
but they were from, I think they were from New Jersey and I don't remember what, maybe there's some old meeting notes from last year that talk about it, because I know it was when we were at the
We did talk
town hall,
about it.
yeah, so it'd probably be in some of the old meeting notes. If she actually did
Yeah,
say that she, I don't know.
Well, I thought she did, and I thought that the guy wrote back and said that he'd take care of it.
No, I think that's when John.
That's verbally.
Spoke to him.
Yeah.
But I think there's a little, confusion, like, whether or not
Yeah.
she did write the letter or not, I don't know. But we did talk, and I think I gave her the address and the names and. But I'd be curious to look up their deed too, to see what it says.
yeah,
I'm sure the cemetery is mentioned.
I'm sure,
You would
right
think
away
that-
it's mentioned.
Sometimes it's not, but you would think that one would be because,
It's older.
yeah, and there are
Yeah,
some laws
That's
about,
Chandler 1 or Chandler 2? There's 2
I
Chandlers.
think that's Chandler 1.
Okay.
But there are laws, I guess, when it's on private property, like you have to give them notice, things like that, so.
we have to give them notice that we want to go there. Is that what you
Right,
mean?
I think so, and I think you have to get
Fair.
permission from the thing, and if they don't give you permission, there's something like the town can get involved or something like, I don't remember, there's some, it's in
It
that,
would just be nice to not have them come down and just.
Right.
It really would be.
that document that Vermont laws, I think, you probably have it in your package, that all the, what's it called, like,
Bylaws for the state.
for the
cemetery.
state cemeteries, yeah, I think in there it has about when a cemetery is on private property, what you have to do.
Digging,
Did
Digging
you,
for the- Yeah, I think there's some information, if you flip through there, I think there's about private property, like what you have to do with,
Me, it's no big deal, just cut that one limb.
I know,
And that would,
I mean, I think,
well, if
We
you cut
got
that
a
limb,
few
is the
times.
limb gonna hit a stone, so you gotta have somebody there to.
yeah, I think
Rope
you
it off.
gotta have somebody there.
To rope it off, you just can't cut it.
You take a look at it, and see what you think.
I mean, I think the tree is probably just needs to, whole thing just needs to come out. And then we don't have to deal with them, anymore, And there's not gonna be an issue, I mean, it's an old tree.
Oh, I'm sure it's old.
Yeah.
well, then the thing would be that somebody's gonna get in there with a piece of equipment,
They probably don't want that.
which probably gonna open up another can of worms. But we have access,
But then you get it done and then you don't have to keep.
if push comes to shove, we can go in there with a bulldozer and take care of it.
Or we could just let it ride.
Rick Red, and he'd be responsible for any damage done to the stones.
That's what I'm saying, then he'd be responsible.
Well, we don't
Maybe we
know.
should bring that
We
to his
don't-
attention.
We do, we just have to find out what the laws are. I mean, they should have been responsible for all the White Cemetery if that were the case,
That's whoever, that's
Well-
up that way, I don't know.
but still.
Does Dover have a cemetery commission?
I don't
Who's
think,
in charge of Dover, who's in charge of burials at Dover?
I don't think so.
Right, it's down
There's a
first.
little group of volunteers that do go around to different cemeteries. I think Roscoe and Sarah Shippey are on that.
Who's that?
Roscoe and Sarah Shippey,
Oh, yeah,
but I don't believe there's anything formal.
no, there isn't.
So, I mean, family members do the cemetery lawn mowing.
Yeah.
It's pretty loose.
Yeah.
You know, they try to keep up with stuff, but I don't believe anything formal.
They finally decided they should mow that place by Corinthia. They,
There's a family
Yeah.
that does that.
I know,
And it
I know, I
could even
mentioned
be
it,
Shippey's.
I
I'm not
mentioned it
sure.
before about
Yeah.
mowing that up there, and he said.
yeah, no, that hadn't been mowed for years.
We're not mowing it. Okay.
No, we don't maintain our cemeteries.
East Dover, the Holland Road one.
Yeah.
That one seems to be mowed more frequently.
Yeah.
I think the Bartletts take care of that.
That could be, yeah, that's,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know there's any space up in Dover.
well, and that was the other big thing that I believe there is.
That's why I
Yeah.
told the lady, I said, I don't know. if
Yeah,
there is.
no, I believe that there is, but again, I don't know how you access that information because I think I asked Sarah this, we discussed this.
Who's the one that's in, what's that town clerk's name, Andy?
Andy.
He's
Mhm.
smart cookie too.
Mhm. And Sarah's a select board member. I mean, I think they, you know, they're aware of.
But the cemetery in Westover, that's pretty full. Or like, up by where
Mhm.
I know they got
Do they
space,
only have?
the space
two?
up at, huh?
Do they only have two cemeteries?
Oh,
Find
they
anything
got a
on-
whole bunch in Dover. They got a ton of them. Single ones up.
And they got one over, there's one that I mowed for them one time, they wanted mowed for some reason, I mowed it. Was up by the, going up towards the golf course, right by,
Oh, that one, yeah, on the right.
on the right hand.
Right there.
That's a town, that's West Dover's, Dover
Right
Center,
to the bottom.
Dover Center's one.
Then there's the Mountain Cemetery up. where-
Mountain View,
Mountain View, yeah.
yeah.
That's the one by Corinthia.
Then you got East Dover and you got the one down in
Across
the
from
village.
Friends,
of
yeah,
East
yeah.
Dover. There's
Which
down
one?
there.
Which
Then you
one?
go up on Dover Hills and you got 1, 2, 3, 3,
1, 2, there's
3 or 4 up that way.
3.
And then you got one right behind Deacon's Den. You got the one behind the silo. You got the one up on,
Did you ever find that one
Got
behind the
guy
silo?
who
yeah,
built
I
by
took,
the-
took Todd and I went there.
There's two back there, two up there.
Oh, no, I'm not talking silo, I'm talking,
Oh, Deacon's
the.
There's
Deacon's
one
Den.
stone
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
right?
huh?
There's one stone.
Yeah,
There's two actually, I think.
There's two?
And he's out.
Solomon
that's
Ridge.
cheap, Right, single stone.
Yeah, that's not really,
That's
just
not,
a
that's
mo-
a, that's not a
that's just a-
cemetery, that's.
that's a memorial.
Memorial,
He's
it's on
actually
the,
buried, he's actually buried in this cemetery, wrestling.
that's,
No kidding.
Yeah.
that's on the snowmobile trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually got a stone down here wrestling. That's just that's just where the spot where he was
Was the
killed.
bull monument you're talking about?
Yeah.
Then you got
Well,
one,
that's in Wadsboro.
Duncan Cemetery, and I don't think I could ever find that one again. It was only one little stone along a stone wall.
Is that on Duncan Road?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's up in there place. Kind of cool. I used to look around for them. Took you to most of them, haven't I? John?
Any person wishing to have a temporary right of entry over private land in order to enter a graveyard enclosure to which there is no public right of way may apply in writing to the selectmen or cemetery commissioners, as the case may be, state the reason for such request and the period of time for which such right is to be exercised. The applicant shall also notify in writing an owner or occupier of the land over which the right of way is desired. If the selectmen or cemetery commission find that the request is reasonable, they shall issue a permit for a temporary right of entry designating the particular place where and the manner in which the land may be crossed. The owner or occupier of the land may recommend a place of crossing which is reasonable, shall be, if reasonable, shall be the place designated by the selectman or cemetery commissioner. An owner or occupier of the land who refuses to comply with a permit issued under subsection A of this section may be liable for reasonable costs and attorney fees expended to enforce the permit.
So if we asked
Sounds like
for
we should try to,
permission to take down the tree and weed whack twice a year.
Well,
sounds like we should try to work with the guy.
well, we must have a right of way because we've been going in and out of there.
I think all we have to do is work with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look at the deed and see if there is an illegal right away.
Right. Yeah.
Cause I don't think that cemetery's ever been weed whacked.
Did you find that, John?
Didn't we send somebody out there to clear it?
Not that one, I
No?
remember.
I thought Spiller was gonna do it like a couple of years ago, but I don't know if he
Oh,
ever,
yeah.
I don't think he ever did.
Did you find out what he,
I saw that, but, yeah,
in the paperwork?
yep.
Hmm.
Would this work?
Yeah,
Just take a look at it.
there was one here about who's responsible for cemeteries after, before 1933 and after 1933. They have to go to,
What are the dates on those stones?
oh, a lot older than that.
Yeah,
One-
18.
There's some in Dover that are
No, that, no, that-
1700.
Yeah,
isn't there 1700 person out there?
Where?
At
Oh,
Haynes?
I could be,
Well, I thought you had a Civil War hero out there.
well,
I think it is.
he died in Civil War 1863, I think he died.
at the 18, John.
We died in 18 something, but
You got the one up there by Lee Richards, that's,
Yep,
that's another single one.
Mhm.
what's the significance of 1933?
it says the law was written to ensure that old cemeteries organized prior to 1933 continue to be lawful, even though those old cemeteries do not technically comply with current statutory requirements. However, the law is clear that every cemetery established after 1933, which is not owned and operated by a town or religious society, must be established, owned, and operated by a corporation. So like, a lot of people like, this would be a corporation, nothing to do with the town,
Mhm.
which it kind of is anyway.
Right.
A lot of towns have it that way.
Yeah, there's 11 stones out there. The earliest death date was 1839. The last one was 1895.
Really? You got all that on there?
Is it all
You are
family?
so good.
Yeah, it's the Chandler family. Abigail, Ezra,
Is that many
Dana
stones,
Pitt was
huh?
the one that died in
There's quite a few stones in there.
1863. He was
Some of them were
Civil
knocked
War.
down though, I think, some of them were knocked down.
No, they're
There's
not,
only
no,
one.
no.
Mary P. Needham
They're slate.
has a,
Some of
has a,
them
is a, I think it's
Yeah.
the only one that's, I think there's only that's the only one that's broken. It's kind of split in half. But
So keep you guys in your computers.
You gotta get one.
No.
Did
So
some,
you have the veterans that Todd gave you that he found? Do you want me to get these forms down to Avenatti to secure?
Oh, those
we're
there?
talking about Swan, I think, and Swan.
No, there's a few of them that you gave me that didn't, that one there,
Yeah,
that,
if you give
I
me
only
the
remember
names, I'm
Swan.
happy to work on it. Because we got the last ones pretty easy, and he just does it, he does very well with the Veterans Administration in terms of ordering them.
like, remember that one up there, where do we, I don't have the paperwork with me now, but you gave me that.
Yeah, the only one I can remember is that Lucius Swan.
Well, I was excited because.
Look at Swan's over here.
Right.
Right.
So were there other ones? I can't, that's the only one that's,
I'm talking about the ones up in, Riverview. where you planted, you had
Burial last year, nothing's there.
Yeah, but that's, I don't know how long we wait,
Yeah.
like McGovern. I mean, McGovern doesn't have one, and then the other one, Lyman, I think he's a veteran, he doesn't have a stone. And I don't know,
Well, you can't really go over the families.
McGovern, I can figure out, I can get that information.
Mary Beth would.
but I mean, yeah, that's like, how long do you wait? Cause like the Lucius one was
What's the
like,
one that you gave us last year, this last year, no, we were down the road, and remember you took pictures of the McDonald or something like that? Remember you showed me the pictures of it and you said,
Yeah.
it's gotta go here.
Yeah, here's
Okay.
the blank.
Okay.
oh, yeah, that was Johnson,
Johnson.
up by the Barlows and,
Yes.
Winfield
Yeah, yeah,
Johnson, and
Nothing there.
there's nothing there.
He's a
so-
World War I veteran, right? Something like that. I
Might
can't
have,
remember.
might have been Civil War, even. I
Well,
can't
if you
remember.
can give me the
So it's
name,
like,
I don't mind working on it.
yeah, so I have to,
This is any part of this,
but
You
see, we
can
don't
get
have a
it.
lot, all we pretty much have
nothing.
name, probably the war
But that's
and
okay.
date, but we don't have like any like
But that's,
paperwork.
that's fine.
Okay,
Cause I think Jillian can pull
okay,
from her stuff,
okay,
the other, you know,
yeah,
that type of stuff.
yeah.
And he was very helpful with this one.
What's that one?
Oh, Clifford Bayard.
Oh, God, this one.
Bayard.
Oh, we went for a long time with him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that, but this is really.
We made our own marker for him, you and I did. Who's the other one? Oh,
Hastings.
Ray Hastings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but I don't mind doing that.
Okay, yeah, I'll see if I
You
can
just send
figure
me
out.
the names and
Yeah, I have to remember.
it would be nice to be able to, you found so many, it'd be nice to get them all marked.
Yeah, cause I think I gave my only copy to Walt.
I got it up the house. It's just hard because how do you find them if you don't know anything about it?
I called Jillian.
Oh, she know all this.
Mhm.
She a brain too?
She-
Really? Okay,
She
so I don't know how,
She worked for,
I like to see every single veteran have a stone.
I would also like to see.
That's still all that's free, right?
It's all free,
Mm-hmm.
but you just gotta have,
We-
I don't know if you
We've
gotta have a
gotta be able to
DD
get
form.
what we can get,
I don't know if you need a DD form 214, that's what.
Right,
that's
that's what-
the big.
but I think that's what she's got top secret clearance still, so she can get in and get stuff.
Cause I know there was a Richard LaRock that was up in this cemetery and I remember
Any-
he was below me in school. He was about.
Just give me the names.
But we don't know if
But
he's
I'm
actually
going,
buried there.
and I called Halifax, figured, I talked to, the fire chief there. And I says, Rock, I says, he's gotta be from, you know,
Right.
Later here, it must be, and they put flowers up there. He did, not this year.
he grew up in Wilmington.
Right, that's right, but, and he's buried, that's it.
But we don't know if he's buried there,
No stone, no nothing.
And
Who's that?
LaRock,
Richard.
Richard LaRock.
I mean.
He was about your grade.
She can pull what she can pull. And,
I'll-
and I've gotta tell you,
Janet, I'll find all the names that I had it down.
and we'll just see what happens with it.
Yeah,
This Abernathy's pretty good there.
No,
then we get the
he-
stones
he
and like
does
we did
he
last
knows
year
he's
for
a
Timmy.
veteran, but he does
We put up
put
Timmy's
his
stone.
time in.
Yeah. And Spiller will help,
Read this.
Spiller will help us put a stone up, but no charge.
and I guess it doesn't cost him anything, cause the mill, the Department of, what
They,
veterans
he
pay,
just
pay
submits the
him.
paperwork.
That might
Yeah.
change.
I know, that's true, we should get him now.
They just, they've been,
What beautiful handwriting.
yeah, that was the oldest one that you found.
Yeah,
You guys are very good, Sheriff, I tell you.
Oh, that's the least. I
You get a stone before you're dead?
No,
Have to die to get a stone?
I'm trying to get one, but I think they.
I wanna get one too. I wanna see it
well, if you want,
before I go.
you have to buy it yourself.
Maybe we can,
Ranger.
we could arrange it.
Thanks.
I didn't get the chance to finish it, he finished.
Next.
Cause a lot of people,
Can you
those white
please-
military stones, I like them, you know, and.
I just.
A lot of people have the bronze ones. Only thing with the bronze ones, they
Mm-hmm.
put them in the dirt, I mean, in the underground, and they get covered up and they kinda,
Problem is, you have to, on your, it's funny, cause that, you know, you don't get to see your own stone before you go, but you don't get to pick your emblem. cause you get to pick an emblem
Okay,
at
yes,
the top, like a cross or a moon or a,
Family gets to do.
well, I guess the family.
There's choices for that too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
right,
why you
they
should look
should.
up and see what you want before you go, so you don't, so make sure.
Just got my brothers and they put a cross on it. And his wife had wanted the Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
And so they're making.
Well, you must
a
be
new
able to
one.
get that, huh? Army
Yeah.
SEAL,
Yeah,
Navy
you can
SEal,
get, there's a whole list, there's probably
Marine
like
SEal,
30 different
These
ones you
people
can
are
choose
from
from.
various cemeteries.
So you get the,
Huh?
These people
medical,
are from various
Yeah.
cemeteries.
No, this is a lot.
paratrooper.
Oh, okay.
Here, I can show you the bronze one.
Again.
I think there's about,
Anybody
it's like
saying
Charlie
this
Rotello
you?
from the Sitzmeyer.
mhm.
I've
That's
done
bugged
mine.
me for years. I think Charlie should have a
Yeah,
stone
and
wall. Yeah,
Jessica sent me,
can't get one because the
um,
family doesn't
the
want that.
email with the link.
Fred
I
was a
did my
brother-in-law,
training, she asked
right.
me to bring.
And
my
Fred was
laptop,
trying
which
all
I
the time.
did.
Nope.
I don't know why she asked me to bring.
That's his
Yeah.
wife. When-
Want a double.
But
stone
that
when
was
she
all,
goes.
that
Well,
was.
sometimes in military stone, you
Is
can
this
put the husband and wife,
I
right?
can.
I don't think this is
Like-
something.
like-
you have
like-
to
like-
do, do you?
Her grandfather, your grandfather.
Joe,
Cemetery
Joe
commission
Regan's got
members.
him and
Well,
Irene on it.
I'm not,
Same show.
Because we don't work for the town, we're not
Yeah.
town employees.
we don't work for the town, but I wanted, you know what, I wanted to
That's because
print this
her
all.
grandfather doesn't have one. That's up at, your son, that's up to you guys. Up there.
I was
That's
wondering, if
Elliot
it
Boyd.
was something.
That's different, that's.
What? No. It deserves, no? Yeah.
Well,
He's being
I don't
put,
think-
up- he's being put on the big ones because he was on every single one before.
I
I
know.
was wondering if
But
it
they,
was
they,
something we had to
the,
do.
the Department of
Oh, the department won't do that.
won't give him one because of his,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But I put him on my list.
that's
know
fine,
what?
that's
It's
like
silly,
local
though.
stuff, that's
It's-
not like,
It doesn't take
we're not
long.
buying a stone for, you know,
Yeah.
purchasing the stone.
Cemetery
I'm just talking,
commissioners
that's one
were
up there.
listed
That's-
here.
Trying to think, how many more up than yours up there? That's it, right?
People
Well,
only
it's not
for
up there. Your
municipal
cemetery
offered.
Right up there.
It is, oh, it says
Because you got
recommended,
Flannery. He's not here. Yeah.
Recommended.
And, we put that new one up there last year.
statewide municipal code of ethics.
Over there.
and control. You know, basically, you should,
No.
don't take gifts from people
To
who.
know her name, there could
Don't
be a
take gifts
spot for her.
and
If I see Linda,
don't
I will
propagate your
mention
own
that.
self-interest,
I bet
is
she
mainly what the
doesn't know
training
that.
was.
Because
I did it,
Lynn's
and I watched the video and did the training.
mother's name is on the backside of their stone.
Yeah, it doesn't even
River
have to be
Hill.
in the backside,
Oh, okay.
they just have to know in advance there will be a wife, cause remember, we worked hard at, we kept calling. You know who I mean?
Oh, the girls.
Yeah,
Hmm.
cause their mother now
Oh.
has no name anywhere.
Ketterer and, yeah, I know. what you mean.
There, that's what that looks like. So now we're waiting for the corrected version, and then Bucky's gonna mount that,
She didn't want the cross, he wanted
she wanted the Navy SEAL,
oh. Well, that's the plaque,
yes.
that's not the
So you
stone.
can put the plaque on a cement thing, you
Yeah.
can put it right on the dirt.
No,
Or you could mount it.
I want a
on
white
field
stone.
It's
Right,
the same symbols go with,
Right.
they're all.
I want everything.
that was
Not
my.
get it.
You might not get anything, Cat.
Is it up on the top of the hill yet, or is it?
No.
I'm holding out.
We're waiting for the corrected version.
Yeah, I know, might not get anything.
And then Buck's just gonna mount it on, she wanted just a field stone.
Well, I was once told that if you got a plaque, you couldn't get a stone.
Correct.
Right,
Is that
You have
still
a
true?
choice,
either
yeah.
or.
You can get the rounded one.
We were told
you could
before
get
that
a
if they had
cross,
somebody
Oh,
wanted
yeah?
a military stone,
You can get a
and they
cross,
were told he couldn't have it, oh, Silo Boy, and he was told he could not, kids trying to get him a military stone. And they said, no, you can't have a military stone because you got,
A plaque.
no, you got a regular stone. And, with his name on it. And I said, that's bull crap, you know, why can't he have it? Just put it on the other end. Well, why can't he? So ended up that, yep, went through with the stone. So I got one, because he wanted one like his brother got, his brother's rolling. Right. And when I
I don't think they care if there's a family one there, they will only provide one.
Yeah.
One.
And a lot of times, and I see this on a lot of the other, like, some things like in Bennington, and you'll see that Charles Ebbets right on the road when you're going up
Oh, yeah.
on the right. He's got a gray monument, but on the back, they have the small plaque,
Mhm.
the military plaque that they can
The
attach.
bronze plaque.
Well,
Yes,
barn,
that
but
they
it's a
can
smaller
attach
version.
it.
It's not the one that goes on the ground. This is a smaller version, but it gets attached, like glued to the back of the monument itself.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so you can, if you wanna have just a regular stone, but still wanna have the military piece,
You get that or you gotta pay for that one, you suppose?
I think you get that one. It's
You,
just,
you have a choice.
yeah,
You can still get that one?
yeah,
That little one?
yeah, cause you get, I mean, as a military, you get to choose what you want.
Playing is.
Yeah, but I won't be here to choose.
Well, you can choose before you go and write it down, say, this is what I want.
I called up there yesterday. And
And
told
this
them, I
Has school holes, so it could be.
You can learn it before you go even.
you guys want ready to.
Well, I'll send a message after I'm gone.
You gonna haunt everybody?
I'll be like, up there where he's got his phone number on his,
Oh, I remember the guy that drowned
yeah.
with Bobby,
Yeah, I don't wanna mention any names.
yeah, I remember that. He had his telephone number on his
That's funny.
And I used to go, it's not there no more. It was on,
What?
Still there.
no,
He took it off?
yeah, I'm pretty sure they took it off. I'm pretty sure it's gone, because,
I thought I saw it the
I don't
last
think-
time I was up by that way.
no, I'm pretty
No?
sure the number was taken off.
Wow.
Maybe they put the cell phone number on.
I bet the
Uh,
number's been disconnected and paying their bill.
Any other new business?
I did have, and I'll have to bring it next meeting, I had done some research on the columbariums
Mm-hmm.
we talked about, and especially we're talking about like with Intervale, because that's, so far, no one is been put in those cremation
No
lots
one's
yet.
in there yet.
No one's in there yet, but, you know, what.
But all of them
and
may
we're,
be
and the,
open to that.
and the problem is because all that stone, putting an urn in that ground may be almost impossible. No, we haven't even tried yet,
No,
but-
we changed that. They have to be plaques.
No, we're talking
Yeah, they'll
about,
count-
but you have to
count
put the urn
Put
or
the urn in the
ash,
ground.
the cremations in the ground, you may not, because all that hard concrete and stone that when they. tear
Captain, when
down-
you took everything out of there, you take all the stone out, or you put dirt back there or what?
We didn't take the bottom out.
You said you just bulldozed right over.
He just bulldozed over. This is when I did it.
Yes, the sides are
We
out,
took the walls and the roof off.
so it was filled with dirt. It was just cement floor.
Then they just pushed it right over.
I don't remember if there was a stone bottom, but if there was a stone bottom, we didn't touch the stone bottom.
I mean.
That's
either
all the
way,
go up there.
level, so trying to dig down in there, we don't know, I mean, maybe we should even try like one of the lots, just.
We had enough time putting the.
Yeah, even those
numbers
little,
up there.
the markers, some of them won't even go in the markers in the ground because there's so much rock and stone in there, so,
Do you remember what?
So
they
what do you do?
filmed?
What do you do?
well, huh?
You make these things that you can take and like a wall type thing, and then you got like drawers and you can put your ashes in there, and each one will have their own number and stuff.
It's like a wall.
It's
with-
like the vault, only smaller.
They're
Yeah.
called columbariums, and they're, I guess, column is because of the columns, they look like, you know,
Little
structures, they're about
mailboxes.
yeah, like mailboxes, they're about,
Show us a picture
I don't have, you know,
on your phone. You can do that.
You know what he's talking about.
I had it all, I had all the pictures printed
There's
out, I
a
was gonna bring them.
mausoleum over in
Oh, is
Bennington,
there?
Park Lawn,
Yeah.
and they have the columbarium in there. There's a
Which
couple for
cemetery is that?
burials, but, Park Lawn?
What, the one up the hill?
I mean, this, what.
Yeah, as you're going
they'll
down
do
North
is-
Adams.
Yeah.
Is,
On the
Yeah, there's
left up there?
Yeah,
gives
They
you
have
an
a-
opportunity to.
they have a
market more
mausoleum and then
for the
inside
families
they have
that
the
are in there
columbarium.
still.
So basically, I looked at, there's, you know, a website that had,
Mhm.
so like, there's like,
Yeah, see.
Yeah, and they have some of the, that down in Arlington too, the National Cemetery.
And there are.
So what are you
some-
talking about?
so basically, what
It would
what we
fit
would
in.
do is like, clear that land and to level it, and then put a base down, a concrete base, whatever the size of the columbarium you go for, and then
How many lots?
install
How
a,
many lots were those?
there was only 24 originally.
24.
So really, what I
They
looked at,
It makes
we
sense.
could,
You got 3/8.
It does.
Makes sense.
you can, and
How many
they,
got?
they
1, 2,
come,
3, 4.
you can get whatever size you want, and I'm figuring if we're,
This is precast,
Six.
then it must be,
it's all
Okay.
pre-done, it's all done, they deliver it on a truck,
You can have.
you have your, you know,
4/8.
And
hire
I
guys,
looked
and
at
it's all.
them, and there are some that would definitely fit in there much better than the
never heard
size
of that.
break
Oh, yeah.
look.
Never-
Yeah, they're, so the ones I looked at one, I mean,
They have them around here?
She said
Betty-
they have a Bennington.
There's the mausoleum in Bennington, and they, inside, they have a couple of those.
Inside the mausoleum.
It doesn't look just like this, but yeah, there's a mausoleum, and then you have a full, couple of full bodies in there, but then they also have a couple of,
the
Is that just
one,
one
you're
family
talking
or
about
is that a-
something. for
One family.
bodies, Just for ashes.
this one would just be for ashes, yeah,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't have any, there wouldn't be a mausoleum, it would be a structure, and I'll bring the pictures I printed out next week, but what I was looking at, you could do a 41 would probably be the, you know, and 20 would probably be the smallest, but I would think we could do 40, 60, 80, 120,
Mhm.
and I was thinking, depending on the size,
You're thinking of one bigger.
because there's nothing else out in Intervale. And if people, like, for years wanted to be buried in that area, that wanted cremation,
So what are you gonna do with the lots you've already sold?
They would
they
all-
would get a
One of
block, they would get to choose one of the
One of
niches.
those.
They call them niches,
these.
and
Okay.
it's basically
How much?
it's kind of like did you see John's brothers
Yeah,
did? So
Yeah,
that's a mini one.
Yeah.
That's like for two people. So basically, these are larger for 20, 40, 60, 80, 500. You can go however big you want. But, and I looked at that, I was looking at the price, like, even like a 41 was like somewhere around 7 to 8 grand, which means like each niche was about I think I priced them at $160 to $180 a piece.
Mm.
And then if you're charging $350,
Mhm.
you're making a profit on
Over time.
over time
Yeah.
when you sell out the complete niches.
Don't worry, John, we won't be here.
And they put a little brass plaque or something
So-
on the
Right.
with the person's
So
name
name.
and-
So you put like a cigar box inside?
Yeah.
Like
So you
that.
really gotta start thinking about it before,
Somebody
So
cross.
exactly, and that's, I mean, we don't, I mean, typically since those are cremations, if we were starting this process, they could hold off before they
Right.
put them in, you know,
That's true.
but we need to start
I mean,
thinking
we
about this
know
soon,
there's
because we,
one big family, and there's, I think it's all.
There's a lot of
family at this
Sullivans
point. It's
in
all
there.
Sullivans right
and
now.
he's got the list right there on the, who's
Yeah.
purchased on the.
I can see Shirley now.
Oh,
Can I,
sure.
can I still see over
They-
there?
She was more concerned
She
about
was.
you,
She did it with me too. She
and Jeannie wanted to know that she was right over the doors, because she used to jump off there. She wanted that one, yeah, and I
Yeah.
would assume they would all be comfortable with this, but that would be something to ask them.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll bring the paperwork
But
next
that would-
week, but
What
next
it would
time,
do is,
where's the company
it
from?
would
that
increase
you-
availability for that
pretty much any,
cemetery
there's
for
companies all over.
You have to get a contractor to go through.
You'd have to get a contractor to
Limited.
put a
cemetery.
concrete pad
Yeah.
down,
So-
and then, and I'm guessing probably, I know Aviati works with like Rock of Ages, I think Rock of Ages out of
Mhm.
Vermont does
They did that.
big
yeah.
mausoleums, so I'm assuming they do
Oh.
columbariums as well.
Are they locked?
They're sealed.
They're
They're
sealed,
sealed.
yeah,
Okay, because
Right.
people nowadays,
I know.
It's like a dresser drawer.
You've seen
So
Bob.
you're gonna
Yeah, I
open
saw
it,
it.
Well, that ends is sealed.
yeah, you're gonna
Sealed,
open it,
okay.
you're gonna put the box of remains in there, and you're gonna seal it.
Yeah,
The
they usually
flap
took,
Is on the,
like-
on the
Okay.
face.
they usually like, you know, that liquid nail stuff, they glue the
Mhm.
thing once they're in there. You-
That's, I think it's.
Cause
I think it's a
usually
great
there's like
idea.
kind of a, and you can choose the color of granite you want for it, black, gray, whatever, you know, so there's a lot of different options but it's just something to start thinking about.
I mean, I would be more concerned that it fit in with, that's a beautiful cemetery.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it should fit in
Right.
and not look like a skyscraper.
No,
Hmm.
no, I
Well,
think
I
that,
don't think you'd go any higher than the.
I wouldn't go-
Land right there.
Yeah.
right,
Right.
and I think 5 feet is like the standard height for these, so it's like, I think that's,
Yeah, no, I agree.
so,
Mm.
and they're not that, I mean, some of the bigger ones, like I said, the 41, for 40 niches was like around a little over 7 grand, but, there was one, I think, that had 80 niches, maybe that was around 16 grand, but you know, it depends on how much.
It doesn't seem like it's very expensive.
They're not, because, I mean,
$4,000.
it's really not a lot of granite, because mainly the front of the granite is very thin pieces of granite that are covering each niche. So really, it's kind of a, I don't know how they're built structurally wise, it's not really a lot of,
It's cement, it's a cement
You think it's a
shell
good idea?
yeah,
with a front
Yeah.
panel.
right. So
Rather
they're not
than
really,
in there.
there's not a lot of material to it, because a lot of
Yeah.
it's all open inside for the remains. But I had it all printed out, I'll bring it.
Get as much information as you can,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Ralph? That's where you're gonna be.
I think that,
Oh, Ralph's
He's not,
got-
he's gonna,
Ralph's
he'll be
going by the
below
tree.
it.
Huh?
I got a lot, I'm down
Ralph's
by
got a
the
lot.
tree.
What do you think, Al?
Yeah.
That's where you're gonna be.
No, he's not. No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but in your cemetery.
While we're talking about all this, I got thinking about something too. Like my grandfather was buried from Connecticut, was buried down in Connecticut. And in that cemetery there, they have like rose arbors and stuff, and it's all flush stones. And not in our time, but later on, it's gonna cost more and more up there to take and have somebody mow and
Correct.
trim around all them stones. We ought to think about having a section of just flat stones.
Well, we talked
Oh,
about,
where are you talking, Riverview?
So, Riverview.
Yeah,
But when
you
they
take-
go to mow
I
that,
agree with you totally.
we talked about the backside there.
yeah,
That,
Right?
that knoll where it's like that.
That's what that would be, which would be fine.
But you gotta think about how you're gonna put a road in there someday, right?
Well, road, and we talked about, and I know.
You know what I'm talking about, because the road comes up to the shed, okay, you come up to the shed, and then you're going through all that brush and that crap there. And maybe the road should go through there, and then it
Well, there's
cut up.
already technically a road there. It's already-
Basically, you
been
can get away
mapped
with it, yeah,
Yeah.
and then you could have that whole section for flat rocks, which I
Right.
totally
If you take the
agree.
shed away, the road's right there.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
So I think in the future, we should think about moving that shed somewhere.
Well, there's a road there, and then there's a road just,
right in front of it.
Your road,
between the shed and the
Ralph,
fence
that's
too.
that's smart, because
there's two.
we should
Through the
plan
ditch.
a whole big
Gotta
section.
go over
where
the
it's all
ditch.
flat.
That's what we're saying, yeah.
Yeah,
Because someday.
Well, a lot of
I
times,
ain't gonna give a damn, the weeds will be growing over there, I don't care.
It's a future expansion.
well, and the same thing we talked about with the green burial
Yeah.
stuff is trying to, you know, cause that, and then usually in those, a lot of times those would all be flat anyway. Cause they don't even want, like, want you.
What do they do with the green burial?
burial?
They just dig a hole a little bit and just wrap the body up?
Wrap the body in a shroud, and they just, usually the families will actually even dig the grave. They don't bring out
Have you
equipment.
done any of those?
Only a couple. I haven't been directly involved. I've definitely delivered a person for a green burial.
And somewhere up north now, they have
There's a whole cemetery
there's a
that's
basket,
designated.
it's a basket, and they just, it's hay and,
Mhm.
and
They put you in a
the
basket?
body
Yeah.
goes in and everything just naturally decomposes. There's no cement, there's no,
they got it, like, I saw one that they had, and it's like, they're out in the woods and stuff.
Yeah,
They
that's what I thought.
They just dig a hole.
Yeah.
yep. I mean,
Probably what
I
they'll
would
do.
assume that
Probably
will
what they'll
come
do with
out
me.
of
Dig a
the
hole.
board. We've talked about it in the past.
I think, the family I was involved with the green burial, I think it's just, they didn't wanna spend a lot of money. It's just like, oh, dig a hole and,
Yeah.
Sure.
so.
anything else?
We're doing, like I said, Christine mentioned, we're doing an auction, a silent auction at the 4th of July festivities on July 2nd. So we've got a bunch of the businesses and everything have donated, gift certificates and items.
Is it a Chinese auction, like they walk through and just put?
No, it's not, it's gonna be a paper, you bid
Right.
up, yeah.
And you put it in the jar.
No, there's no jars, it's the paper, so it'll have a minimum
you
bid of
just write
something,
it
and you
on.
write your name and what you bid,
Good,
and at the end we'll,
well, I'll give you something, just yell.
okay, yeah. So, but one of the things that I was thinking that, because, you know, veterans, is if the commission would, if we put up a lot for silent auction.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, there'd either be
We
a
could put a
taker
minimum bid
or
on
there
it.
wouldn't be.
Oh, I was thinking a 500 minimum bid, I mean, that's $500 towards, you know,
Well,
like,
they're better off, just go buy one. Put a minimum bid of 500.
that's a $1,800 value.
Oh, I thought you were talking about one.
No, a lot. It would be a
Oh,
family lot,
four family,
the whole
family
lot.
lot?
Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah. I mean,
How much would that be?
What if you've already purchased
More than
one?
eight.
I know.
Still bid on,
That's right.
You
you
could,
get your money back?
you could sell it, you can sell it privately.
I don't know if we have.
4-member lot you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Four,
just a
So
full lot.
that's,
1,800 bucks.
Oh, no.
I kind of question whether
Four
we're
fifty
allowed
times
to do
four.
that.
Why
How
not?
much?
That's why you're the
450 times
commissioners, you can
four.
decide what you wanna do.
what
with
if
the
they're
lot.
not a
1,800.
resident?
So basically, you're giving us the lot, and we're basically as an auction, and, you know, and then whoever wins the bid, we just make out a deed to that,
I
their name.
thought it
and
was
that's it.
$750
For what?
for a lot.
No,
No, not for 4.
For a non-member,
650.
6 of 18,
450.
24,
450.
so that's 25.
Yeah, I don't think we ought to do it, that's my vote. I mean, I don't vote, you guys got.
You don't vote
You
in.
don't vote anyway.
Just that.
But, you know, a thought is like, we're trying to, again, raise money for the Veterans Memorial Park, and anything that we can,
Well, that's
All I can
Yeah,
say is
you
we
know,
got plenty of
that's-
space up there.
That's an interesting idea, and I'm wondering if there's any lots that are more undesirable, like maybe you could
Oh, I
say,
know where we could put them, yeah, down the old
Like-
section. We'll give them one in the old section.
you-
Or sweat.
I don't know,
I didn't say that.
I don't know, I mean, we got plenty of lots and we've got plenty of expansion, we're not like,
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not,
cemetery is
ever have-
ever hurting.
you
for-
must
It would
have
be in Riverview.
lots
Yes,
where
it'd be
families
every-
walk through and go, oh, maybe you could put one of those up.
I bet they don't bring much money.
we got a lot of people.
You don't think people
Compliment
are like
the center
always
cemetery.
complaining about how expensive these, you know, lots are, and if they,
told me yesterday we're cheap.
well, we are cheap to a lot of, we are, but people still complain.
We're a little more.
They will always complain.
So, but I'm just thinking, you know, then,
Well, what do you think?
I question
I think
whether
it's a
we're allowed.
little, I mean, I think it's an interesting idea, I think it's maybe a little uncouth in some way, but, I think it's also very interesting. There's a lot that we're having problems unloading, yeah.
And I wouldn't wanna put an undesirable lot out.
Well,
I still
I don't
kinda
know.
wonder if we're allowed to do that.
I don't
Nobody
know.
Then I wanna know, where is it? Oh,
should. We could show them.
Yeah, we
you know,
could
you can
put the
pick,
map
you
right
can pick the
there.
lot with open lot, we know what lots we have available. Give them John's old lot, number 85.
It's wet.
Exactly.
That's why I traded.
No.
My wife saw it in the spring.
She did?
Yeah. Fred told you that? I said, yeah, I didn't know.
Good go, John.
I'm glad you took your wife there.
Everything's wet.
On down.
This is true. There's
Gonna rain
nothing
Saturday
that's
again.
dry.
That's an idea.
I don't know. I don't know, it's an idea.
When
I would-
We're not gonna meet again.
There's
I
one-
would-
I'd like to think,
Todd,
No,
I
you
would
can't
say
say, you
no,
gotta
I
do-
would say no to that,
Okay.
kind of. I mean, I'd love to see it, you know?
yeah, I know, wouldn't it be great to go into an auction? Yeah.
Auction items would be interesting.
This could be something
a
that could be
coffin.
talked about in.
There you go, you got a coffin, extra coffin?
Well,
Okay.
Think about it. and-
Not used one, not used one.
oh,
Is there any coffin?
Well, there won't be any,
Upstairs, over
those auctions
Well,
on July 2nd.
they're all
so.
gone.